Hey, you! There's a long line, alright, let's go. Let's keep it moving.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm just kind of getting used to everything, you know?
Well, you came to the right place. I'm here to get you caught up before you enter the country.
Really?
Yep, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the American legal system. But, before we get into the details, we should start with some history. First off, the rule of law is the idea that the law applies to everyone, even those in charge of the law. You understand? Right? Then, America also values the balance of rights, or the idea of each individual having the rights of life, liberty, and property. There's also the U.S. social contract. Alright? This is the idea that the U.S. gets power from the people and can sacrifice to give some individual rights to the community.
How did all this start?
Well, that's a good question. It all started with this little piece of paper right here. The Constitution of the United States. This Constitution exists to outline and limit government power. And in the Constitution, there's the Bill of Rights, which are the first 10 amendments of the Constitution, which assist in the protection of citizens just like yourself.
But what happens if I, break the law, or if I ever end up going to court?
Well, that's a good question, laddie. You see, in a state trial, there are 3 attorneys and 3 witnesses. Cases can be either on the civil or criminal level. In a civil case, the burden of proof is the preponderance of evidence, and in a criminal case, it is knowing the defendant is guilty beyond reasonable doubt. The 2 sides in a criminal case are the prosecution, which is also the government, and the defendant. While in a civil case, it is the plaintiff and the defendant. The jury is the group of people selected to determine the outcome of the case. They sit and listen to both sides of the story, and in the end, decide the verdict.
Okay, so how does a trial work?
My, you're just full of questions. You see, in a trial, the events follow as such. Each side giving opening statements, then the prosecution and defense switch off examining various witnesses surrounding the case. Then, at the end, each side gives a closing statement before the jury gives the decision as to whether or not the defendant is guilty. The punishment can vary from just a fine all the way up to decades in prison, depending on the crime, that is. For example, let's see here, a petty misdemeanor, petty misdemeanor can only get you a punishment of a fine up to $300. The next level is a regular misdemeanor. This one can get you up to a fine of $1,000 and 90 days of incarceration in prison. Alright? Next is a misdemeanor of the gross variety. Alright? This one you don't want to get. This one can get you a punishment of up to $3,000 and even more time in prison, similar to the misdemeanor. Lastly, and this is one that you really don't want to get in trouble for. This is the one, yeah. Alright? The felony. Alright? These can get you in prison for more than a year. Alright? Not something you want to get caught for. Alright? Overall, my friend, the main idea of the American legal system is to tell a good story. And in the case of a trial, it's whoever can tell a better story. Attorneys are kind of like the narrator who moves the story along, and the witnesses are the characters in the story, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's all good to know, but why do I need this information?
Why? Well, because it's important for you to know your rights while living in this country. Alright, we as a country, the United States, believe that it is important for each citizen to learn how our legal system works. So if the necessity arises, they know their rights, and they know what to do in said situation. You know what I'm saying?
Well, thanks for all the information. I guess I know what to do now if I'm in a legal situation.
Yes, yes, you're very welcome. But you're also holding up my line, so you better get moving.